Picture this scenario for a moment. You and a group you're involved with encounter a sudden and sizable predicament. What do you do to overcome this obstacle? Unless you're part of a hive mind, then the answer won't be automatically and unanimously knowing how to proceed and the specifics of getting it done. A more realistic answer would be that of utilizing group deliberation to carefully weigh your options before moving forward. The reason that deliberation is important is that problem solving isn't a one-size-fits-all concept. Someone may propose a solution that may conflict with the ideals of another member, may hold unintended ramifications, or may fall out of line with an implied status quo. Due to factors such as these and many more, it is imperative that one considers the options before jumping to a conclusion. Take the 1993 film Jurassic Park, for example. In it, a man by the name of John Hammond dreams of opening a theme park filled with prehistoric creatures. Prior to being able to do so, a violent incident occurs in which one of the dinosaurs kills a worker. This causes a legal investigation to unfold wherein John must prove the safety of his park before it can be made public. To do so, he must convince a group of experts to give their endorsement. At a point in the film, John hosts a lunch for the group and tries to sell them on his idea, but they end up holding the following deliberation about the state of the park's future.
None of these attractions are ready yet, of course, but the park will open with the basic tour you're about to take. And then other rides will come online 6 or 12 months after that. Absolutely spectacular design, spared no expense.
And we can charge anything we want, $2,000 a day, $10,000 a day, and people will pay it. And then there's the merchandise. And I can personally...
Donald, this park was not built to cater only for the super rich. Everyone in the world has the right to enjoy these animals.
Sure, they will. I mean, what, we'll have a coupon day or something.
Yes.
Gee, the lack of humility before nature that's being displayed here staggers me.
Well, thank you, Dr. Malcolm, but I think things are a little bit different than you and I had feared.
Yeah, I know. They're a lot worse.
Now, wait a second. Now, we haven't even seen the part
No,
where
Donald, let him talk. There's no reason. No, I want to hear every viewpoint. I really do.
Yeah, don't you see the danger, John, inherent in what you're doing here? Genetic power is the most awesome force the planet's ever seen, but you wield it like a kid that's found his dad's gun.
It's hardly appropriate to start hurling generalizations.
If I may, I'll tell you the problem with the scientific power that you're using here. It didn't require any discipline to attain it. You know, you read what others had done, and you took the next step. You didn't earn the knowledge for yourselves, so you don't take any responsibility for it. You stood on the shoulders of geniuses to accomplish something as fast as you could, and before you even knew what you had, you patented it and packaged it and slapped it on a plastic lunchbox, and now you're selling it. You want to sell it. Well,
I don't think you're giving us our due credit. Our scientists have done things which nobody's ever done before.
yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
Condors. Condors are on the verge of extinction. If I was to create a flock of condors on this island, you wouldn't have anything to say.
No, hold on. This isn't some species that was obliterated by deforestation or the building of a dam. Dinosaurs had their shot, and nature selected them for extinction.
I simply don't understand this Luddite attitude, especially from a scientist. I mean, how can we stand in the light of discovery and not act?
Oh, what's so great about discovery? It's a violent, penetrative act that scars what it explores, what you call discovery. I call the rape of the natural world.
Well, the question is, how can you know anything about an extinct ecosystem? And therefore, how could you ever assume that you can control it? And you have plants in this building that are poisonous. You pick them because they look good.
But these are aggressive living things that have no idea what century they're in, and they'll defend themselves violently if necessary.
Dr. Grant, if there's one person here who could appreciate what I'm trying to do.
The world has just changed so radically, and we're all running to catch up. I don't want to jump to any conclusions, but look. Dinosaurs and man, two species separated by 65 million years of evolution, have just been suddenly thrown back into the mix together. How can we possibly have the slightest idea of what to expect?
I don't believe it. I don't believe it. You're meant to come down here and defend me against these characters, and the only one I've got on my side is the blood-sucking lawyer.
Thank you.
From that conversation, we gather that only 2 out of the 5 group members are fine with greenlighting Jurassic Park. It's also worth noting that allegiances have shifted. The lawyer, despite being tasked with shutting down John, is now convinced that Jurassic Park should be opened, whereas the paleontologist and paleobotanist, despite being hired on by John himself, begin to showcase skepticism. Sometimes, however, deliberation doesn't regard a matter of action, but rather a matter of wording. In some cases, careful wording and phrasing is important so that the given context of a situation can better be understood. This leads us to the next example, the 2013 film, The World's End. In it, the protagonists reluctantly agree to revisit their hometown to conquer a beer-drinking challenge they failed a few decades prior. Quickly, they begin to notice many things about the town seem strange, and eventually discover that the townspeople have all been replaced with identical robot-like counterparts. These imposters, growing suspicious of the group's motives, don't take a liking to being called robots, so the group begin to discuss what code words they could use when they're referring to these doppelgangers.
I don't remember him being that friendly.
He's obviously one of them.
How can he be? He remembered me.
We don't know what they remember.
Or maybe they have selective memories.
Yeah, like, what's his name? Me!
Maybe it's one of the others, like the Reverend.
It's very hard to tell, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, is he one of them, or is he one of them?
Wait, which one's of them again?
Well, they're both thems, aren't they? But there's 2 ways of saying it. Is he one of them, or is he one of them?
We need different terms. One for people that aren't robots, and one for robots who aren't robots.
Why? We need to be able to differentiate between them, and us.
Yeah, I think the pronouns are really confusing.
Yes, I don't even know what a pronoun is.
Well, it's a word that can function by itself as a noun, which refers to something else in the discourse.
I don't get it.
You just use one.
Did I?
Yeah, it is a pronoun.
What is?
It.
Is it?
Christ, no! We just need a fucking word so we can identify who's who. Like, he's a blank. She's a blank. Those 2 people are definitely blanks.
Though referring to the imposters as blanks seems odd, it is an effective verbal cue. Prior to deciding on that word, the group relied on a system of pronouns that, as demonstrated, got messy due to its confusing nature, especially when considering that they were all inebriated. This simple change makes it possible for them to communicate more effectively and more clearly. It serves as an example regarding the importance of phrasing and is one of the many times in the film where the wording plays a more prominent role than the action. We've now learned that deliberation is an important step for a group to take before moving forward. It is essential when creating policies or deciding on further actions, and even the language used in these deliberations plays a pivotal role in clearing the air, as well as denoting what is explicit versus what is implicit. With that, you should have come out of this video knowing more about the importance of verbal deliberation and some of its basic tenets.